attention to what the I thought oh my god. 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 I'm behind. I'm behind. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, I understand why people were like, no personal news. God damn. Bro, what the hell? What the hell? What a crazy way to start the day. Holy moly. It's bedlam. It's bedlam. It's bedlam. It's bedlam. It's bedlam. But yeah, TrueAnon on later to discuss MAGA, Epstein, Fallout, and more. Get in now. Holy moly, what a crazy day. What a crazy day! Ah! Okay. Let's watch. So Trump meets Zelensky. Okay, Disney comes in. All right, he comes in, and for all intents and purposes, I'm gonna set the stage for all of you. Okay, I'm gonna set the stage for all of you. So this is supposed to be coming off the heels of weeks and weeks of Donald Trump calling Zelensky a dictator, saying he sucks, saying he ain't shit, saying Zelensky's got no bitches, constantly talking about how Zelensky's short, you know, all this stuff. Okay. He's like, you got no money, no bitches, no job prospects, and you're a dictator. That's what Donald Trump is saying over and over again. And in the process, there's also this mineral deal that's, being floated around where Trump is like, I'm going to take all your raw earth. I'm going to hit that earth raw. He just keeps saying, I'm going to hit the earth raw. I have your minerals. I'm going to take it. Okay. I'm going to take all of your minerals. There's nothing you can do about it. And it's weird because, like, we don't even know if there's a lot of minerals or whether or not they are even rare earth minerals. They're certainly raw, but I don't know if they're going to be rare earth minerals or not. And, regardless, he's like, Trump is saying, like, I want the minerals because we gave you so many weapons. We gave you all of our old busted ass equipment, and that was like $300 billion. Like, it's time to pay up, which is, pretty honest in terms of how American foreign policy normally works. But, like, obviously, optically speaking, probably not a very good deal. It's probably kind of a raw deal for Ukraine, but it was always slated to be a raw deal regardless. But now, after all of this, there's still this back and forth where there's this suspicion where Donald Trump, dials it back and says, like, no, did I call Zelensky a dictator yesterday or the other day or every single day since then? Ooh, was that me? I don't know. So, like, that's basically the last thing that happened before this this Zelensky conference was supposed to happen. He linked up with Keir Starmer, also known as Keir Stalin. He talked to Macron. Macron touched him in the leg, maybe even touched his heart. He's been talking to all the European heads while constantly talking about how he's going to tariff the shit out of our European allies, right? But when he did the whole, did I do that thing? I thought to myself, like, okay, he's probably going to go back on this stuff. He's just playing hardball. He's going to give them more old weapons and tell them, like, they can continue fighting or whatever until they just, like, I guess, inevitably come to a ceasefire negotiation, a bargain, like, going along with the other side of the Brandonian policy, right? And boy, was I wrong. I didn't think that this would happen. Okay, I'll admit. A lot of you look to me and say, Hasan, you apply the science, the scientific dialectical materialist analysis to things that are happening all around the world, and you are at least relatively knowledgeable when it comes to issues like Israel, Palestine, and seemingly this is very helpful in making accurate assessments or even sometimes predictions. But when it comes down to Donald Trump, especially in the way that he's dealt with this Zelensky stuff, it is utterly unpredictable. Okay? It is completely unpredictable. This is the Nixonian madman theory in action, but this time it's actually a madman. Like there is no IR interpretation for the way that Donald Trump operates. I'll say it. Okay. There's no like, there is, he has redefined the genre. Okay. He has redefined the entire genre. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody can make, like, there's no real politique. Okay. There's no real politique here. There's no fucking, there's no constructionist, the way of approaching it. There's no Marxist interpretation for international relations here. It's just Trump. Okay. It's just Trump, and he might say some shit. He might turn back on it. But yeah, let me explain to you what happened to the best of my ability, because it's virtually impossible to truly come to terms with what the fuck happened here. So after Zelensky comes over to the White House and we're like, okay, there's gonna be a fucking mineral deal. Is this going to end up with more weapons for Ukraine? Or is this going to end up with like a finalized, ceasefire bargain or anything like that? It turns out, no. It's a secret third option. Okay? It's a secret third option that virtually no one could have seen. Okay? Like, what the hell, bro? Let's watch. Truly a nutty moment in American politics, okay? All right, so they come in.
What's your message for them?
Well, if I didn't align myself with both of them, you'd never have a deal. You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then say, hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal? That doesn't work that way. I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America. And for the good of the world, I'm aligned with the world. And I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous...
Bro, there is nothing funnier than the camera panning over to Zelensky. He's like, you can't, I don't like the guy, but what are you going to do? He is a victim here. He's a hostage, like the January 6th hostages. He's held a hostage. The entire world has been so unfair to Vladimir. They've been so unfair to him. All he wanted to do was denazify Ukraine. He wanted to do a special military operation to denazify Ukraine. I tell you, folks, Nazis, not very fine people on both sides, okay? Let me tell you, he just wanted to denazify. Also, Slava Ukraini, that's a hate crime. Let me tell you, everybody knows 14,000 people died in Donbass. All the people in LPR and DPR, all they wanted to do was maintain independence. They had Russian roots. Alexander Dugin. What accent is that? I'm so hopped up that I can't even do a good Trump right now. Okay? Many people are saying I'm a Duganist. What's wrong with that? He's got some good ideas, folks. They did the Tsar so wrong. He had great ideas. He was going to fix the Russian Empire. All these peasants, the Bolshevik Revolution, very unacceptable. Don't we hate it, folks? That's why I like Putin. He's going to restore it.
Tremendous hatred. And I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe.
With the world.
I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me?
Wait, it's at 120. What do you mean? It like you want me to go more? Why do you want me to go further? Like, it's fine. I want to hear the rest. I want to hear this.
I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. but you're never going to get a deal that way. So that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
Hey, I will respond to this. So look, for 4 years.
Okay, shut up. Why are you there? Who's this man? Who is this guy? Does anybody know who this guy is? I don't know who the fuck this guy is. Who the fuck is this guy? Why are you in the room, dog? The fuck is your purpose? Excuse me. Where is the real president? Where is Elon Musk? Why is Elon Musk not in the room? Who the frick is this guy thinking he can have a moment in the spotlight? Like, don't try to clip farm, okay? You're not FaZe Ronaldo, little bro, okay? You're not Lacey. You can't. You are not the clip. Don't come in here to be like, oh, let me get a couple licks in on Zelensky so that people can talk about me too. Like, get the frick out of here, dude. Anyway, sorry.
Years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the president of the United States' words mattered more than the president of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
He admitted Putin invaded Ukraine. Yeah, he has. That's why he's there, by the way. He's the moderating voice. He is the moderating voice. He put his freaking eyeliner on this morning thinking to himself, I'm really going to have my moment here, okay? I'm going to play both sides here. I'm going to say the truth about the matter while Donald Trump says insane stuff. But just wait. Because Donald Trump doesn't like this, okay? He doesn't like being around beta men, okay? Beta males. He is not a fan. He is not a fan of beta males. And now he's surrounded by two, okay? Donald Trump, the GOAT, Mr. MAGA, Mr. Alpha Dog, okay? Surrounded by not one, but two.
Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to have President Zelensky.
Wait, why don't I just, I want to see what Zelensky says here, and then
Sure.
Trump's reaction.
Yeah.
Okay, so he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now the President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact line?
2015.
2014.
2014 and 2015.
2014.
Yeah. So
I was not here.
Yeah, but
That's exactly right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, yeah, the situation the same. The people are been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him. Me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed with him with gas contract. Gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people.
He does not want to hear any of this, bro. He's like, bro, stop talking. He's like, stop talking. Like, you ain't even, he's like, you ain't even funny. He's like, you ain't even funny. I've seen your comedies. I didn't like them. I didn't like your comedies.
Of Ukraine.
All right, let's
And
watch
we've
this. This is like the full vid, okay? This is the chaos.
been working
He does
very
not
hard,
want to hear even a second, okay?
very close. So we've actually known each other for a long time. We've been dealing with each other for a long time and very well. We had a little negotiation spat, but that worked out great. I think for both countries. I think for the world, actually, beyond both countries. And we have something.
This isn't funny to me. I am too woke. Brother, there is virtually nothing we can do about American foreign policy decisions. Okay? Nothing. Do you understand? Nothing. It is not a democracy. Please make no mistake. There is no democratic process here. There is no morality here. I'm using this as an opportunity for everyone to recognize the reality. Okay? Recognize the reality. There is a reason why American foreign policy has left behind so many countries in rubble, which then turn those American weapons formerly used against American adversaries on America. Okay? How do you think 9/11 happened? Like, what do you think was 9/11? 9/11 is literally the precursory to 9/11, but this time happening in an Eastern European country. Straight up. And I've been saying, this is basically, you remember that tweet from that one journalist who was like, I've been investigating this story for years and years, and he just tweeted it? That's how I feel. That's how I feel when I watch these things unfold. Because for years and years, I have been critical of American foreign policy for being so violent and so cruel and not even caring remotely about the humanity of the people that we just use like a dish rag, okay? Only to have those people understandably develop resentment towards us or even other allies, expressions of American empire, and then eventually turn around and turn the same weapons that we gave them on us, okay? That's it. This is exactly what happened with Operation Cyclone. There's a reason why this meme exists, you know? The whole, eventually they'll turn on you, the meme that I used on my blast off tweet as well. Okay, whether it be Manuel Noriega from U.S. Friend to Foe, whether it be Saddam Hussein, Osama bin Laden, Muammar Gaddafi, you know, this is how it works. This is the most consistent, most coherent American foreign policy. Do you understand? That's why I always say, hey, listen, if you're leftist, you're right, just too early. Okay? Joe Biden fucked over Ukraine. Of course Joe Biden fucked over Ukraine. Yes. And Trump is basically just full tilt finishing the job.
Very fair deal. And we look forward to getting in and digging and working and getting some of the rare earth. But it means we're going to be inside, and it's a big commitment from the United States, and we appreciate working with you very much. And we will continue to do that.
Sean Raid, thank you for the raid, Sean. Hope you had a good stream, brother.
With Russia, I spoke with President Putin, and we're going to try and bring this to a close. It's something that you want and that he wants. We have to negotiate a deal, but we've started the confines of a deal, and I think something can happen. The big thing is the number of soldiers, mostly at this point, but soldiers being killed. You're losing thousands of soldiers. On both sides, we're losing a lot of soldiers, and we want to see it stop. And we want to see the money get put to different kinds of use, like rebuilding. And we're going to be working very hard, but we've had a lot of very good conversations. I will say until we came along, the Biden administration didn't speak to Russia whatsoever. They didn't speak to anybody. They just allowed this to continue. And I will say that, I'll say in front of you, you've heard me say it 1,000 times, if I were president, this war would have never happened. We would have had a deal negotiated for you without having to go through what you've gone through. But your soldiers have been unbelievably brave. We've given them great equipment, but somebody has to use the equipment. They've been unbelievably brave, and we give them great credit. This was supposed to be over very quickly, and here we are 3 years later. So I give tremendous credit to your generals and your soldiers and yourself, in the sense that it's been very hard fighting, very tough fighting. They're great fighters, and you have to be very proud of them from that standpoint. But now we want to get it over with. It's enough, right? We want to get it over with. So,
yeah. So it starts off relatively normal, from what I understand. Relatively normal. Okay, there's like a little bit of like pushback. Okay, there's a little bit of a history lesson from Zelensky. Of course, the entire press conference that's taken place here, this entire meeting that's happening here, is happening on the backdrop of Donald Trump's insane actions in terms of foreign policy, voting alongside Russia and North Korea and Belarus to say they're not condemning Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which was already a symbolic symbolic gesture to begin with, right? Those are symbolic votes in general, but they matter when America obviously completely changes its alignment. Donald Trump is calling Zelensky a dictator over and over again, saying he sucks over and over again, saying like, we're going to take all your minerals, all this stuff. And then seemingly it falls apart.
It's an honor to have you here. Thank you
very much. It's so bad. Even most of Asmongold's chat is saying Trump L. Yes, because Asmongold is pro-Ukraine. He's pro, I think, what is it? Like, he's on Ukraine, on the issue of healthcare, on the issue of like some left-wing populist sentiment. He is not on board with Trump, but it's not enough to like be a spoiler for him. That's it.
For coming. We're going to sign the agreement at the conference in the East Room in a little while, right after lunch. And we'll be having lunch together. We're also discussing some other things. And we appreciate everybody being here. It's somewhat of an exciting moment, but the really exciting moment is when they stop the shooting or we end up with a deal. And I think we're fairly close to getting that, and an honor to have you. And please, I'd like to say something.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. President. Thank you for invitation. And really, I hope that this first document, will be a first step to real security guarantees for Ukraine, our people, our children. I really count on it. And of course, we count that America will not stop support. Really, for us, it's very important to support and to continue it. I want to discuss it with details further during our conversation, and of course the infrastructure or security guarantees, because for today I understand what Europe is ready to do, and of course I want to discuss with you what United States will be ready to do, and I really count on your strong position to stop Putin, and you said that enough with the war. I think that is very important, Ben, to say these words to Putin at the very beginning of war, because he is a killer and terrorist. But I hope that together we can stop him. But for us, it's very important to, to save our country, our values, our freedom, and democracy, and of course, no compromises with the killer about our territories. But it will be later. And of course, what I wanted, we spoke about it by phone with you about the drones production. We have very good drones production. I think the best one in the world for today because of the war. Yes, and of course we need very much the air defense. You have the best air defense in the world, and really you helped us under attacks of Russians. And I want to speak how we can exchange the licenses. We're open to share the license.
Look at this. Look at this asshole, by the way. Every moment of his life, like we know who this demon is, okay? And we know who this demon is. He's just a brown noser. But this demon is still very much an old school American war hawk. 99 votes in the Senate, including Bernard Sanders, by the way. Remember, that's how uniparty American foreign policy is, okay? He has an image to project. He has an image to maintain. And he's just sitting there being like, I really hope that this doesn't get out of hand because Donald Trump is a little crazy. And he's just sitting there, okay, pants riding all the way up to his goddamn knees like a little boy.
Licenses for all our drones with you, of course, with the United States, and we need licenses for quick production of air defense. Even after the war, we need our nation to be calm, that we are secured. So that's why we need this air shield. And of course, about this, I want to speak about the contingents. I think that France and UK already spoke to you, and we know that Europe is ready, but without the United States, they will not be ready to be as strong as we need. And the last point, last not least, about exchange, about our people and children. And you know that this crazy Russian, that they stolen 20,000 of children, Ukrainian children. They changed their names, they changed their, their families, relatives, and now they're in Russia. We want to bring them back, and really, it's a big dream, task, and goal for me, and our warriors. By the way, Mr. President, we exchanged.
Not a great day for the Zelensky was installed by the Americans crowd.
Warriors from Russian prison, but there are thousands more in the prison. I wanted to share with you some images. How it's just.
They're not going to win that stupid war. Russia's going to win. No, nobody. Only America wins.
1 minute.
In this
just
situation.
To understand in what circumstances, in what situation they are, and what the attitude of Russia to our prisoners. That guys, just you before and after. And you see before and after, just you to understand. Now thousands of such guys, ladies and men, there, and that, so they don't eat, they beat them, and they, they do a lot of, bad things.
By the way, I do want to mention something here, but like this is like Israel stuff that he's doing here, but these guys don't care. They don't care. You can literally show the brutality in I mean, and the previous administration didn't care either. They just used it to, keep saying, no, we're on the morally correct side here, but also give us the minerals, please. Like, that would be sick. But that's it. They didn't care either, but they at least operated on the boundaries of caring. They didn't care, but they at least would use it as a way to explain why they were aligning with Ukraine in the way that they were aligning with Ukraine. Donald Trump, on the other hand, does not give a fuck. You could show him like open graves from Bucha, and he would just look at it and be like, I don't care. You shouldn't have had people there. You shouldn't have had people there ready to be invaded and killed. Like, he just does not care. He is an animal, okay? What? Libs of TikTok, Lamau.
That are lost every year in Medicaid.
Hassan Piker just called for violence against a sitting U.S. senator. If you cared about Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott. No, I'm not saying you should do that. I'm saying that if he did, he would apply capital punishment to Rick Scott. Yes. At FBI. I can't even respond to this because this dumbass blocked me. I guess I could. Anyway, let's continue.
Things
at FBI.
So out of, even during the war, there are rules. Everybody knows there are rules during the war. So these guys, they don't have any rules. You see that 50, 60 kilograms left, and a lot of such things. And I didn't want to show you what the changes with images of children, because I will share with you. I mean, it's looking tragic.
Yep, it's tough stuff.
Yeah, I wanted very much to give you, and you see it.
Yeah.
This is pastor, by the way. They stolen pastors because it's not Russian church. They stolen pastors and moved pastors to the prison. We, at the end of last year, we brought 3 pastors, and we could exchange them. And this is pastor, you see.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. So I mean, this I wanted to show you, and this. So thank you very much.
We want to get that ended, right?
Yeah, of course. We will.
And I think we will. And
We have to, of course.
do you have any questions, please?
Mr. President, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. With the, how much money is the U.S. going to put into the fund that is being created today, and how does this provide long-term security for Ukraine?
Well, we don't know exactly how much because we're going to be putting some money in a fund that we're going to get from the raw earth that we're going to be taking and.
Yeah, so the raw earth. Oh my God, why am I saying raw earth now? I love that he says it like he. Why has no one stopped him from saying this? It's now official lexicon. I'm saying it too. Oh my God. Raw earth. The raw earth. Earth is raw. God damn. You doing okay, brother? I mean, I'm doing fine. I don't know how more. I don't know how anyone could be doing okay in these circumstances, but raw earth. Okay. Anyway, he's talking about raw earth. We're going to extract the raw earth. Initially, I thought the way Donald Trump presented this, I thought that he meant, you know, he's getting 50% of their minerals, rare earth minerals, not raw earth minerals, specifically for all of the weapons that they've sent thus far. Now, it seems like it is for the additional weapons that they might send to Ukraine, except according to Caitlin Collins, who was in the room, no deal was signed. So we don't even know if that's currently on the table.
Sharing in terms of revenue. So it's going to be a lot of money will be made from the sale and from the use of raw earth. And as you know, our country doesn't have much raw earth. We have a lot of oil.
Yeah, I know. He ate it.
Gas,
he ate it big time.
But we don't have a lot of the raw earth. And what we do have is protected by the environmentalists, but that can be unprotected. But still, it's not very much. They have among the best in the world in terms of raw earth. So we're going to be using that, taking it, using it for all of the things we do, including AI and including weapons and the military, and it's really going to very much satisfy our needs. So it's something that just worked out really well. We have a lot of oil, we have a lot of gas, we have a lot, but we don't have raw earth. So this has just about every component of the raw earth that we need for computers, for all.
He keeps going. He just keeps saying raw earth. Why is nobody? Okay, whatever. How are you going to even what? That's not even the most significant part of this conversation. Sorry, it's just. Let's just keep going. Sorry, I apologize for caring about this. It's so stupid. It's so stupid to care about this.
I think they're going to have great luck. I think once we make the agreement, that's going to be 95% of it. They're not going to go back to fighting. I've spoken with President Putin. And I feel very strong. I've known them for a long time, and I feel very strongly that they're very serious about it, and we'll make a deal. And when the deal is made, I don't think we talk about security. Everyone's talking about the other day. All they talked about was security. I said, let me make the deal first. I have to make the deal first. I don't worry about security right now. We have to have a deal because right now, last week, 2,000 soldiers died on both sides, 2,000, and they're losing 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 a week. So as we sit here and we talk, people are getting shot and dying on the battlefield. And, you know, they're not American soldiers, but they're Russian soldiers and they're Ukrainian soldiers, and we want to be able to stop it.
But
and we want to be able also to spend money on other things. We don't want to, this is a tremendous amount of money. And what the Biden administration did was terrible. They were giving money, but he had no security on the money. Europe, as you know, gave much less money, but
him starting with the Russian soldiers, it's also indicative of what his position is. But it's kind of funny where he goes, what Biden did was terrible. And why what Biden did was terrible was not because he didn't force Ukraine and Russia to come to the table for a ceasefire when Ukraine had more leverage. What Biden did wasn't terrible because he didn't actually hastily bring forth enough weapons that Ukraine could defend itself with initially when there were more people in Ukraine, when they had more of a standing military that hadn't been destroyed. He didn't Like, those weren't the reasons, right? Those were not the reasons why Biden was terrible. It was because he didn't get assurances for the old ass weapons that we dumped into fucking Ukraine, that the military industrial complex was able to get an incredible return off of. Like, those, that's the real reason. The real reason is he just didn't like farm Ukraine harder, which he did. Of course, Biden farmed Ukraine as well, just like Donald Trump is doing. Okay. The only difference here is he didn't actively come out and regularly be like, Zelensky sucks. That's the only difference. That's it. But for him, the biggest crime for Biden, I guess, was that he wasn't aggressive enough with Ukraine, which is a crazy thing.
They had security. It was in the form of a loan. They get their money back, and we didn't. And now, at least we're protected because the American taxpayer has to be protected too. But this is an incredible agreement for Ukraine because we have a big investment in their country now, and what they have, very few people have. And we're able to really go forward with very, very high-tech things and many other things, including weaponry that we're going to use in many locations, but that we need for our country.
Mr. President,
This allows us to do this.
But Mr. President,
will you continue?
I'm sorry.
Sending military aid.
Yes, go ahead, please.
If I can just yes. In the document, there is one of the very important points if we speak about business and investment. We never had LNG terminals in Ukraine. This document will open. I mean, the next document, but anyway, here we see in the framework, we see a really goodwill for this. LNG terminals.
This is a disgrace that the U.S. is extorting an ally for its minerals while we are under attack from a brutal dictatorship. You're suggesting that Biden and Trump are essentially the same? That's a gross mischaracterization of reality. Brother, what are you talking about? Biden and his team also were quietly, like, read reports on this, please, from American news outlets. Biden and his team also were trying to do the same exact mineral deal. Okay? The only difference between Biden and Trump is that Trump is a fucking psycho and will actively undermine Ukraine, even though they are not only the wronged party here, but also the ally in this equation. That's the major difference. Okay? But in terms of like the mineral deals that we're talking about here, it's do you still believe American foreign policy is uniparty? Yes. The broad strokes of American foreign policy is uniparty. Republicans, and this is something that I consistently explain to you guys, and I think it just like gets lost in translation or something. American foreign policy is uniparty. However, Republicans are the accelerant. They come into power and they just pull it all the way. They just go crazy mode with it. The direction is still the same. Republicans just accelerate. And then Democrats, when they come into power, don't actually reverse that trajectory. There are very rare exceptions for this. But beyond like the denuclearization agreement with Iran that Barack Obama put in place, or normalizing relations with Cuba that Barack Obama also did, there are very few instances where the Democratic administration, Biden's administration, that came in after, for example, Trump's administration, Biden's administration did not actually reverse the trajectory of every single thing that the Trump admin had done prior, especially as it pertains to Israel, for example. Okay? This is open. Like, this is open in broad daylight. How does this not come across as even remote? Like, how does it not shock you when he's doing it? Yes, there's a big difference between trying to use a little leverage for a mineral deal, sitting down with Putin without Zelensky there. I think the goals are the same, but the method of execution matter. No, I agree with you. I don't disagree with you on that at all. I think optics when it comes to soft power and diplomacy are profoundly important. I think at the end of the day, the outcome was still the same for Ukraine. Having said that, however, the optics do matter because if America does not even care about presenting itself as like a peacekeeping nation, then all of a sudden our European allies are going to look at that and go, oh my God, these guys are saying it. These guys are going to fuck us over. They've been fucking us over, as a matter of fact. People are going to catch up to that reality. Okay? This is what I've been saying since day one, since Trump took office. His mismanagement on the Ukraine side of the bargain has been ridiculous. He could have Zelensky there at the table every day of the week. He doesn't have to undermine Zelensky at all. Whatever he says goes regardless. America holds all the cards in this equation. Having said that, however, he could just as easily bring Zelensky to the table in front of Vladimir Putin. The choice not to do so is important. It is definitely different than what Biden would have done if he ever actually wanted to put forth a ceasefire negotiation. He should have, okay? That was my big problem with Biden's administration when it came to Israel and Gaza. That is exactly my big problem with the Biden administration when it came to Ukraine and Russia. A lot of people yelled at me at the time, but Ukraine had significantly more leverage in the initial phases of the invasion to actually put together a much more comprehensive and much better ceasefire proposal, and the Biden administration was not even remotely interested in it. It's not benefit of hindsight either, for the record, because it wasn't hindsight at the time I said it. And plenty of other people said it too. That's why I get so mad when people go, this is hindsight. It's like, what do you mean hindsight? Virtually every pro-Ukrainian channel and account yelled at me and said I was fucking dick riding Vladimir Putin. I loved Adolf Hitler. And it wasn't just me. There were plenty of people that made this exact same call. You called Ukrainians Nazis? Brother, there have been 7 quintillion moments where I have actively noted that the denazification argument from Adolf Hitler was not even remotely appropriate, okay? Shut the fuck up. Yes, the existence of Azov Battalion does not change that dynamic. Shut up. You called Ukrainians Nazis. I didn't call Ukrainians Nazis, you dipshit. You just got fucking clip farmed because you're a moron. And right now, things are happening and unfolding in front of your eyes that you can't contend. So what do? You lash out at me, okay? Dog watched one clip 3 years ago, and even before then.
For us, it's very important. And
there's nothing funnier than Donald Trump basically exploding the ceasefire negotiation that he himself put into place, and there's still sex pestiny dick riders in my fucking chat trying to get a clip out to be like, you called Ukrainians Nazis. Ukraine is literally fucking collapsing, and these guys are more worried about trying to get a clip off, okay? Oh, I hope he responds to me so I can farm an out-of-context clip. Like, how? You lock in, please. Holy shit.
Of European continent. We have the biggest storage, gas storage. We have the biggest in Europe. Yes, and we can use it. Use it for LNG. We use it for LNG, and we will do it. And really, we can help Europe because Europe really helped. President Trump said that they made less support, but they have our friends, and they are our very supportive partners. They really gave a lot, Mr. President. They did.
They gave a lot, but they gave much less.
No.
Much less.
No. No.
Don't argue with me.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
But Mr. President, Mr. President.
Yeah, please.
Mr. President Trump, you have repeatedly called the deal with Ukraine as a historical one. And as a president of the United States, you make historical decisions in other issues which affect America and other world. So what place in the world history do you want to take? And do you associate yourself with any famous historical figures?
Yeah, I'd say George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. I would say I'm far superior to George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. Now, you know I'm only kidding, right? Because when I say that, the fake news is going to go wild. They're going to say he considers himself to be better than Washington. But you never know. You never know. I don't compare myself to anybody. I'm here to do a job. We've had a great 35 days or whatever it might be, a month, a little more than a month. We've accomplished tremendous amounts. Not only this would be a very great achievement if we could get the war stopped and get them back to normalization. I think that's going to happen. We've had very good talks on both sides, as you know. But I think we've done a very good job, just generally. If you look at all of the things we've done in 30 days, they're saying there's never been a opening for a president. The first month, there's never been a first month like we've had. And this is one of the very important things. This, to me, is one of the most important things because we have tremendous death taking place as we speak, and I don't want to have that. You know, think of the parents, whether they're in Russia or Ukraine, think of the parents of all these people being killed needlessly.
They came to our territory.
Should have never started. This would have, if I were president, this would have never started.
Mr. President Trump,
will you continue sending military aid to Ukraine after the U.S. signs this agreement with Ukraine?
Yeah, we're going to be continuing.
President Zelensky, do you feel like the U.S. is on your side, that President Trump is on your side at this moment?
What do you think?
He wants to know, do you think that, sort of a stupid question. I guess we wouldn't be here if I wasn't. But,
I think that the United States on our side from the very beginning of occupation, and I think that President Trump on our side, and of course, I'm sure that the United States President will not stop support. This is crucial for us. It's important for us. Yes. And Putin, the president speaks about the people and the soldiers which are dying, but they came to our territory, they came to our land. They began this war, and they have to stop. And I think this is the question, was really the most important question. Can President Trump, I hope yes, with some other allies, to stop Putin, withdraw these enemies, our enemy, withdraw these troops from our land? And I think that you asked about the history, I think that if President, or when, he will stop Putin, if President Trump will bring peace to our country, I think he will be on this wall.
We've had very, very good talks.
Mr. President,
what about military aid to Ukraine?
President Zelensky just said that there'll be no compromises with Vladimir Putin. I just wanted to ask both of you. Firstly, are there compromises that you think that President Zelensky is going to have to make? And President Zelensky, is there anything that you think that you may be able to offer or bring to the table, for example, elections? Thank you.
I think you're going to have to always make compromises. You can't do any deals without compromises. So certainly he's going to have to make some compromises, but hopefully they won't be as big as some people think you're going to have to make. That's all. It's all we can do. I'm here as an arbitrator, as a mediator to a certain extent between two parties that have been very hostile, to put it mildly. They've been very hostile. There's been a vicious war. There's been a vicious war. You know, it's a very level battlefield, and those bullets go out, and as I've said many times, we were talking about it with Pete, many times the only thing stopping those bullets is a human body. And in the case we're talking about, generally young human bodies are stopping a lot of bullets. It's
a poet,
level. That's why,
a real poet, dude. Trump is a real poet. Okay, flatland. Only thing that stops a bullet is a human body.
Farmland. It's great land. It's great farmland, but there's very little protection against the bullets that are being and other things that are being shot. So all I can do is see if I can get everybody.
I'm fully on his side, and I don't think he said anything was wrong, but do you feel like, given how important U.S. aid is to Ukraine, Zelensky should have acted differently, glaze Trump/USA more? There is nothing. I just tweeted about this, actually. Interesting question, but there is literally nothing Zelensky can do. Nothing in this equation that will stop Trump and his admin from humiliating him. Obviously, our proxies are always powerless in these circumstances, but the decorum is totally broken. No care for diplomacy. The end of American soft power. He did. He literally glazed them. He, at 11:30, 30 minutes ago, Zelensky still posted a tweet being like, thank you so much, Mr. America. Thank you so much, at POTUS, for kicking me out. It is okay. We love America. Like, it does not matter. He was glazing him. He was glazing him the whole time. He was. What do you want him to do? What more can he do? He could literally get on his hands and knees and suck Trump off, and it still would not change this dynamic. Look, this is basically the proverbial getting on your hands and knees and sucking Trump off. He said, thank you, America. Thank you for your support. Thank you for this visit. Thank you, POTUS, Congress, and the American people. Ukraine needs just and lasting peace, and we are working exactly for that. What do you think this is? This is after he got kicked out, bro. This is after he got kicked out. This is literally a man who is on his hands and knees. And the reality of the matter is, the power dynamic has always been this way. Okay? It has always been this way. The difference here is Donald Trump is not even trying to maintain any sort of like optical illusion that we are here, we're in it for defending Ukraine. We're in it for helping Ukraine. Okay? We're in it to help Ukraine out in any capacity. He's just actively saying, nope, not even a little bit. No more carrots, only sticks, okay? Understand that in terms of the power dynamic between America and Ukraine, this has always been the case. Oh my God. Breaking. NBC reports that the U.S. State Department is ending support for Ukraine's power grid restoration. It is so insane. It is so insane. Are you pro-Ukraine regardless of this? Just curious. What do you mean pro-Ukraine regardless of this? I've always been pro-Ukraine. The Ukrainian people are the ones who are getting fucked over no matter which way this goes. They're either going to get fucked over by Russia or they're going to get fucked over by America. Right now, they're getting fucked over by both at the same time. And in ways that even I did not foresee. Like, this is beyond what I think, beyond what I foresaw happening. Like, it's unbelievable. It is new levels of depravity. Unbelievable shit. He is actively telling our European allies, especially, he's actively telling our European allies, like, you're next. You're fucked. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to help you. You better nut up. You better buy more American weapons pronto. You know, you're on your own. I don't care. This is a change in the trajectory of American foreign policy where we're not going to stop dominating the rest of the planet, obviously, but the ways in which American foreign policy is operated in perpetuity, whether it was the George W. Bush administration or the Obama administration or the Biden administration, American foreign policy has at least always had the image of helping people. America's the world police, but everyone is fine with that because they think like, yeah, you know, ultimately they have our best interest in mind. You know, we're all Western allies. We do it together. He's literally saying like, no, we've never been allies. Like he's dropping the pretext. No more facade. No. Know your place. You are a colony. That's what he's saying. And I think this is genuinely worrisome. Okay? It's genuinely worrisome because I feel as though we're moving into the next phase of the downfall of American empire where we will be actively and openly way more violent, way more selfish, way more ruthless. And there won't be any massaging of the truth. There won't be any optics for this. There won't be any like, this is the this is the morally righteous position. Here is why. And do all of this like manufactured consent stuff. None of that. Just saying it's a protection racket and I want you to pay up right now. I don't care. Okay? There's never been a moment where I have advocated for full and utter humiliating surrender for the Ukrainian population. That's ridiculous. I think that a competent administration that came before this Trump one, the Biden administration, because remember, they were the foreign policy geniuses, right? Should have recognized that the upcoming administration is going to really escalate American foreign policy in a scary direction, okay? And not even shelter the world from the most damaging aspects of American imperialism and actively portray it as a good thing, and should have wrapped it up ahead of time, but they didn't. Part of the reason why they didn't is because they don't give a shit, okay? They don't care. The previous administration doesn't care either. They'll say they care on television, but they actually don't care. If they did, they would have wrapped it up. They have all the power. You think Trump is the most powerful American politician? Ukraine has many more soldiers than Russia. Russia is losing 6-1 in Ukraine, but you're wrong. Ukraine can easily defend for years without Russia. I don't know what to say to this insanity. I mean, this is, I guess, the other side of the consent manufacturing machine where you have deluded yourself.
At the table and get an agreement. And I think we're going to end up with an agreement. Otherwise, I wouldn't probably be even here today.
Will President Putin have to make compromises?
Mr. President, I've got two questions for you. You think ultimately your legacy will be the peacemaker and not the president that led?
This is Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend from literally OAN or Newsmax or one of those outlets, by the way. Those are the journalists who are asking these questions.
This country into another war and ended foreign wars. And I've got a question.
I hope it will. I mean, I hope I'm going to be remembered as a peacemaker. This would be a great thing if we could do this. I'm doing this to save lives more than anything else. Second is to save a lot of money, but I consider that to be far less important. So I hope I'm going to thank you, Brian, for that question. It was a nice question. I hope I'll be known and recognized as a peacemaker. This would be a great thing to solve. This is a very dangerous situation. You know, this could lead to a third world war. This was headed in the wrong direction. If this election were lost, if we didn't win this election, and by the way, we won it by a lot. That was a mandate. We won every swing state. We won the popular vote by millions and millions of votes. We won everything. The districts, you look at the areas of red, take a look at a map. This was a big mandate, and this was one of the things. I said, we're going to get this thing settled. If we didn't win, I think this could have very well ended up in a third world war, and that would not have been a good situation. What was your second question?
And my second question for President Zelensky. No. Why don't you wear a suit? Why don't you wear a suit? You're the highest.
That's crazy. Like, Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend is shitting on Zelensky in the Oval Office in front of the entire press pool, and J.D. Vance is laughing. The American vice president is laughing about it. Like, dude, that's so crazy. What do you mean? Like, that's a question that, like, that... Like, I get why it's funny to many people, but this is not the place for this. And they shouldn't be laughing. What the fuck?
Next level in this country's office, and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see if you own
like
it.
Getting humiliated like this, like being an American proxy aside, you are no longer just getting humiliated by the president. You're getting humiliated by a presidential dick rider who is like a drunk baboon, okay, whose claim to fame is fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm sorry, that is insane. Like, this is there is nothing lower than this, okay? You're getting shitted on by the court jester. Like, yeah, and you can tell it's definitely inappropriate because look at Marco Rubio, okay? Look at Marco Rubio versus this clown ass. Marco Rubio is like, finally, I have secured the reins of the American State Department, and it's under this administration. You know what I mean? I worked my entire life, worked my way up, okay? And here we are. Now I'm in an incredible position of power, and this is the administration that I'm a part of.
You have problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not
Really?
respecting.
I don't have
the
such.
office.
I will wear a costume after this war will finish.
Okay.
Yes, maybe one.
Maybe something like this?
something like
Yes,
yours.
sir.
Yes.
That'd be great.
Maybe something better. I don't know. We will see. Maybe something cheaper than. Yeah. Thank you.
President Trump, you said yesterday, thank you, President Trump. You said yesterday that you have.
Are you going to send more arms to Ukraine in case there's no peace?
Yeah, we're going to have arms to Ukraine, yeah, sure. Hopefully I won't have to send very much because hopefully we're going to have it finished. We're looking forward to finishing this quickly. We're not looking forward to sending a lot of arms. We're looking forward to getting the war finished so we can do other things. But we've...
You're going to play the Lindsey Graham clips on Fox News. Dude is a full-on Russian asset now, saying Zelensky should be replaced. Ukrainians reported in December that Putin was going to try and push him out, and then here we are today. Brother, Lindsey Graham is not a Russian asset. He is a Donald Trump asset, okay? Lindsey Graham quite literally used to be the best friend of the maverick John McCain. And then Donald Trump famously said, I like my war heroes that aren't captured. Lindsey Graham was very upset about that. That's his best friend. After John McCain died, Lindsey Graham has been up Trump's asshole, following every single thing that he says and does. Okay? Lindsey Graham will say whatever Trump is saying. He will just parrot whatever Trump is saying, but he will try to communicate it in a way that is more professional. That's it. Okay? That's it. That's it. I mean, look, yeah, he's like, oh, Russia is scared. Lindsey Graham says he told Trump that his interaction with Zelensky was the best television he's ever seen. I think that Moscow was more afraid than ever. Why would Moscow be afraid? Like, I think... Yeah, here, look at this. Big shit from Lindsey Graham on Fox just now. He said he doesn't know if Zelensky is redeemable. The question for me, for the Ukrainian people, I just don't know if Zelensky can ever get you where you want to go with the United States. Either he dramatically changes or you got to get someone new. He wants...
I just think there's no way the president could have signed that deal, given the way he and JD and...
Like, this man has been literally up Ukraine's ass before. Like, in the Obama administration, him, John McCain, Amy Klobuchar, they would do these joint, like, foreign policy link-ups in Ukraine. He has stood in front of, like, the Azov battalion and shit. You know what I mean? He is the guy who very famously said under the Biden administration that, you know, this is a great deal for 5% of our military budget. We eradicated 50% of our foreign adversaries' military. Like, he is pro unlimited arms to Ukraine. So how is he? What is he doing here? What's going on here?
In our country were treated. I don't know if you can put it back together. I don't know if you can repair the damage. And I've busted my ass to try to help Ukraine to make sure we help them win a war that would, you know, get this war over in a way that we don't have further aggression, and Donald Trump's the man to do it. I told him this morning, I told him, don't take the bait. Don't let the media or anybody else get you into a argument with President Trump. What he's doing today is resetting the relationship. You should be grateful. Now, whether or not we can put this back together, I don't know. But Zelensky's going to be on your network tonight. If I were him, I would profusely apologize to the way he treated